Hello, hello, it's June Olson with Junebug Creations, independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator coming to you live from Kalispell, Montana. And it is Thursday, therefore it is time for Junebug's Creative Crush, where I'm going to share with you or spotlight some things that I am totally crushing on. And right now it is still the hot foiling system. So this is week 2 of the hot foiling system because I have come up with some new ideas. We did some of the basics last week. I'll go ahead and review what some of those were and show you those cards that we did last week or that I showed you last week. And then I've got something new because I started playing with it and I was like, I wonder if it'll do this. I wonder if this would work. So I'm trying out something new. I've already practiced it, so you're not being guinea pigs tonight. Although, you know, sometimes I do that to you. I do a guinea pig thing, but not tonight. Not tonight. I did practice this. I was expecting my box of new hot foiling stuff today because normally when it says it's coming in tomorrow, it comes in a day early. Well, that didn't happen. It's actually coming in tomorrow. So then I had to figure out, okay, if I can't show what's in that new box of stuff coming, which is lots of the Christmas stuff and that flat plate for using your leftover-y stuff, I thought, okay, what else can this thing do? What else can I do with these supplies? So let's flip cameras, or let's switch cameras, and let's find out what can we do with the other supplies. So just kind of to reiterate what we have here, we have the hot foil, Stampin' Hot Foil System. It is in collaboration. It was created in collaboration with Spellbinders. Theirs is different than ours, and they are coming out with another one that is still going to be different. Ours was specifically designed and created to work with our large Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine. Does that mean it can't go through other machines? I don't know. As far as I have heard, it does not go through other machines. Not only that, but if you use this on a different machine, it voids the warranty for this one. So if you want to keep the warranty intact on this, you want to make sure to use it as they have designed it. And that is with our Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine, which I know is an investment. I looked last week after I chatted with you. It is $140 for the Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine, the large one. That's an investment. This hot foil system is $160. That's an investment, and I get that. But if you like some of the dies and the stamps, you don't have to have this to use it. And tonight and next week, I'll show you some other ideas of what you can do with those dies and stamps, even if you don't have this one. So let's talk about this. I highly recommend following the instructions. I have watched some other demonstrators using this, and some of them are not following the instructions as it's laid out in here, and they are having some issues. So if you don't follow the instructions as it suggests and you kind of go rogue and do your own thing, you're going to have some different happenings. All right. It is specifically stated you want to get it hot. You have it in here. You want to get it hot, plug it in, watch the lights. Now I did learn, which made sense. This is magnetic. And when you put it in, you can either flip it up to pull it out or flip it down to pull it out. Apparently it's kind of like an Apple computer, which I don't have, so I didn't know that last week, but I learned that by watching many other videos and demonstrations. So it's magnetic, and so you can flip it up or flip it down, and whereas I kept trying to pull it out, pulling it out straight is harder. Flipping it up or down is definitely easier. So you have these lights here, and it specifically says you're going to heat it up like this. All right, I'm not going to heat it right now. You're going to heat it up like this. When the light turns, when it beeps, and this is a solid red, then you put your die on it. Nothing else. Nothing else. When the yellow light turns solid and you get a beep and a green light, that's when you put your foil on. That's when you put your cardstock on. That's when you do your shims and everything and run it through. I've been seeing people, as soon as that light is yellow, they put the dye on and they go ahead and they start putting the foil on. That overheats the foil too much, and then sometimes you will have the foil like sink into it and you won't get the clear foiling that you should. So it says right here, when ready, see, it's just got the dye on it. When ready, the platform beeps. I gotta get it further away. Again, the green light turns on and all lights will be lit. Then put your sandwich together. Your foil shiny side down, your cardstock, your shim, here we go, your shim, and your hot foil spacer. Okay, so make sure you do it in the right order if you want the proper results. All right, because I have seen people who have had problems with it not staying clear, but getting foil in the places where they shouldn't. And it's because they're putting the foil on while the dye is heating up. So wait until it says, wait until it's a green light before you put anything other than the dye on it. And you don't want to put the dye on with the red light. You want to wait until the yellow light comes on. So follow your instructions. They are here for a reason. I know lots of people don't like to read instructions. They like to just do it, but it makes a difference on the results that you get. Just saying. All right. And using this machine properly, you following the instructions and using it with the right die cutting machine makes a difference in whether or not you have broken the warranty. If you use it with anything else, it's out of warranty. And the warranty, I can't read that, so I cannot remember what it was. The other thing is, if you plug it in and you kind of forget about it, you get sidetracked or whatever, it shuts off on its own. Okay, if it doesn't have any action, if you're not pushing the buttons as properly and all that kind of stuff, it will just shut off. It says here 15 minutes of inactivity. So just so you know, it doesn't just stay heated and you can't just burn yourself because you forget that it's on. It shuts off after 15 minutes. This is the part that gets really hot. That's why it says, caution, hot surface. This part gets warm, but it's not going to burn you if you pick it up like that. So just so you know on that, I'm going to, since it does take a little while to heat up the first time out, and it's been a while since I've used it, I'm going to set it over here off to the side, and I'm going to start it up. But I want you to be able to see these lights. All right, so we're plugging it in. It's blinking. You want to push the white button. Okay, that's the timer to get it all started. This is for your hot dye. All right, it's another silicone thing for your hot dye. And this, of course, is our magnet. All right, so we have all these out for customers. You have pink, gold, and silver foil. And I happen to have one of these old cases, so I did put mine in. I have one other old case. If we get more than 3 more, I'm not sure what I'm going to use. Someone said, one of the demonstrators said, one of the pencil boxes. I got those too, so I might try that and see. I can let you know. But we have silver, pink, and gold foil at the moment. And then for customers, in a couple weeks, you will be able to use the red, green, and I think an iridescent one. That's the box that's coming tomorrow. So next week, I'll be able to show you. So there's lots of different dyes, and some of them have stamps matching, okay, that coordinate with. This is just a dye, so the gold is just dyes. Or is the dyes. The dark shadow, that is regular dye. And then, of course, you have your stamps. So lots of variety there. And the butterflies actually come with, as a bundle, if you buy them together, you get your 10% discount on that. And the butterflies come with masks, all right, so that you can do some coloring and stuff. And then I have that bundle right here, the Echoes of Detail. Oh, it's already out. So this is the Echoes of Detail one. I'll be showing you a little trick off of that. I like to have my instructions close. And then I wanted to let you know, because I forgot to mention that last week, when you purchase the Hot Foil System, you can get the craft class for free. It is a class on Facebook, but you can get it for free when you purchase the Hot Foiling System. Okay, so if you don't want it, I think you can order the system without the class, but why? If you're new to this, why not take the class and get more information? You're not paying extra for it. It's just part of the 160. All right, and then there's some extra supplies that they recommend, and then you can print out the cards that you'll make and the things that you'll learn. I have not taken the class yet. I have not watched it yet. I forgot I even had it until I was printing those out. So let me just review last week's cards. So here is one where I used the Swiss dots on the DSP, and then I used the words. And here we have again the words and more Swiss dots on a different one of those same Moonlit Flora DSPs. And then I used the Echoes of Detail, sorry, not grunge, Echoes of Detail, and I stamped some, and then I did the gold embossing. And then here I did the heat embossing for the frame. And then we had done the poinsettia flower. We had done one of them on the linen and one on I had done one on the brick and then one on the linen. I ended up mailing out the one on the linen, so I don't have that to compare with you. All right. So that was last week's, just the basics of using it with the two-tone cardstock or DSP. All right. So I did one more card in that same vein, using the Swiss dots, using the Begonia Bell, which is last month's, July's product of the month, which last time I looked was still available. And then I also used the Paradise Garden Hybrid Embossing Folder, which is part of this suite. And it is now on the last chance list. So it's on clearance and discounted. And then I also used the Sweet Words label here, this large label from the dies for the card as well. So I pulled lots of product, and I used this month's product of the month. So I really pulled in a lot of products, and I'm proud of myself for that, because if you've been following me for any length of time, you know that I don't cross-pollinate between my products very often. So I was proud of myself that I used, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 different products plus the hot foil. So these are my leftover pieces because I made it a little bit larger. I can still use these on other projects, but I went ahead and I did this fun little Z-fold. All right, so this is with the stamp set, the Begonia Bell. And it's a 2-step stamping for both the flowers and the leaves, because you have your outline, which would be your darker, and then your lighter one. All right, so there is that. And I used the colors that were in the paper, which was pecan pie and crumb cake. And this is crumb cake. And then I added the golden glow for the flowers. I thought it came out pretty. All right, so let's do some playing. So we have our Echoes of Detail, and we have our Echoes of Detail hot foil dies. All right, so that takes a while. So what I'm going to do is show you some things that I did, and then we're going to play with it. So what I did is I took this one, and I wanted to see if it would emboss, which you can see it does. So that's this one when it's hot foiled. All right. And then I wanted to see if it would emboss. Well, it does, but it really goes way deep. And I thought that was not really what I was looking for. So I don't recommend it. And yet you might want something like this and be able to do something with that. So that's a possibility of just using it as for embossing. And you would use it with your, there we go, with your impressions plate. So that's what I did for that. I used the 1 and 2. Then I put my plate on here. Oh, see, there it beeped. So now I'm going to, oh, was I heating that up? press that. All right, we're gonna have to skip ahead because that's already heated. Hold on. Whew. All right, hold on. I'm going to unplug it, let it cool off a minute because I wasn't ready for that. We're not using that this time around. Goofy me. All right, so we have our plate 1, our plate 2, our die face side up. Then I put in the paper. Here we go, like that. Then I did the impressions mat. And then I did, I think, a plate 3, and I rolled it through. If it's too tight, you got to change your shims. You got to change your sandwich. You don't want it to be so tight that you can't get it through. All right. So I did 1, 2, the die, the paper, the impressions plate, and a 3 is pretty much what pretty sure that's what I did. We'll find out when we do this one. All right. So I thought, well, okay, so that embosses, but I didn't like how deep it made it. So then I thought, well, I wonder if we could emboss with color. So first I embossed the brick, and then I ran the stamp pad over it, but I didn't like how it looked, and I didn't like how it got all messed up over there. So then I just ran it through as then I did what we're going to do now. I inked this, then I ran it through. So let's go ahead and do that. We're going to do that with pecan pie. Oh, well, you can see that side must have seen the sun. We're going to use this side. Let me move this over. We're going to bring in our Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine, or whatever die machine you have. In this case, we're going to open it up. I'm going to use plate 1 and plate 2. So if you're trying this out, you're going to want to write down the sandwiches. So plate 1 and plate 2, we're going to turn this this side up. We're going to put this side down because this is the side I want to see. And we're going to ink this. So we're going to ink. We're going to ink our die. Because you can do this with regular dies. So I thought, well, why can't you do this with other dies? And you can do it with embossing folders. So I thought, well, why can't you do it with this? So we've got this all inked up. We're going to put our paper down. We're going to put our impressions mat, or not mat, what is it? Impressions plate down, and then plate 4 is the one I think I used. So we're going to run it through. See, it still goes through. So that's the one. So it's 1, 2, die, paper, impressions mat, and 4. That is your sandwich for doing this. So we're going to move this out of the way. There we go. And then we're going to pull this up. And then, voila! Check that out. Doesn't that look great? So I think I like it even way better than the basic beige. I really like how that looks. So this will look great on a card. I did not make a card because I didn't get my box. I was scrambling a little bit for you today. And so I think that looks great. I love how it really defines it. Okay, and then all you have to do is take your chamois and clean that and clean that. Okay, and then it's still good to go for your hot foiling. All right, it doesn't hurt it at all. Isn't that cool? So you can use these hot foil, some of these hot foil dies, you can use them to emboss. Really cool. I love how that turned out. Now the Swiss dots already do emboss when they do it. All right, so you can see on the back here, See how you can see those dots? So they already emboss when they do it. So that's why I didn't try it with that, because it's automatic. It already does the embossing with that one. Pretty cool, huh? What do you think? Let me know if that looks like something you would try, because then, now I didn't try it with this one. It's very detailed. I don't know how well that would work. I don't know if it would end up turning out like this one, sunk in. But there's probably something I could do with this. I'll have to play with it and see what I can come up, and I can show you again next week. But I definitely like this look, especially on the pecan pie with the pecan. That just looks really cool. Looks like a little hole in the wall. All right, so the next one, and tonight's really not going to be super long because I didn't get those new things. So this is a stamp set and die set called Web of Fun. Who's into Halloween? Comment spiders if you like Halloween. So now I'm going to start heating this up because we are going to need it. So say you didn't want to buy a ton of new dies. You bought the system, you invested in the system, so you're like, man, I invested in the system. It's just not in the budget this month to buy more. Can't I use my regular dies for it? Well, yes, you can. Can you use every single one of them? That I cannot answer for you because I haven't tried every single one of them. This was the first one I tried. So I won't show you the card until I do this part. So, and on the card, I actually used regular cardstock because I wanted you to see the difference. So I'm going to take my die, and this is the one I'm going to use. The other dies are the Halloween, Happy, and the spider. You can either die cut it out, or you can stamp it and cut it, die cut it out. So as Happy, Night, Boo, Halloween. And then we have these two, and then we have the spider web, and so super fun. And then it goes with this stamp set. All right, now, is the die the same size? Let me see, I don't know. Does the die cut out? Let's see, because I know someone's going to go and ask me. No, it's not looking like, oh, no. No, it doesn't look like the die cuts out this one. So you can either stamp it or you can die cut it. All right. And then we have the Halloween here. It's the same font, but it is smaller. Okay, so it does cut out the spider. All right, it does cut out the spider. All right, so we're waiting for it to beep at me. And then the white, this will be solid and this will blink. All right, so this is a red light. It looks kind of orange or yellow on the screen. It's red, yellow, green. Okay, so this is stop, caution, or put the die on. Green means go, layer it all up, get it going. All right, so I am using the two-tone cardstock. This is the black two-tone cardstock. I'm going to use the dark side, and we're going to be using this as a hot foil die. It's going to be very fine lines because it's only going to be using what would normally cut. And I didn't think I should grab, while we've got the time, I should grab and see what this looks like die cut out, right? We've got the time. So we'll use it. We're going to do it in silver. But let's go ahead and see what it looks like when you just die cut it regular. Then we know. Here we go. All right. Here we go. Let's go ahead and just die cut that baby while we're waiting for the hot foil system, because we don't want to just stand around doing nothing, right? That's not what you came for. Ooh, that, whoop, need that. Okay, so Here we go. Lots of itty bitties. Using my fingernail. Oh, it's intricate. Probably should have brought it back through. There we go. Getting caught on. Oh, all right. Did you hear the beep? Now it's a solid red. Now we're going to push this button one more time and we're going to lay our spider web on there. Okay. All right. Let's see. I think that's it. Well, here we go. All right, so here is our spider web die cut out. Doesn't that look cool? All right, let's set this aside. Okay, I gotta refresh my memory on my plates. All right, so I'm going to leave this over here because we're going to be using this after we do this. So this is heating up the dye now. That's why it's blinking yellow. When it beeps again and goes green, solid, all solid colors and green, then we know it's time to layer on. I'll just show you that right there. How cool. Isn't that great? I love it. There it is. So it beeped, it's all lit. So now I put my foil shiny side down. See how it kind of melts? So if you put it on too early, it's going to really melt up to it. Here's the darker side. So we're going to do dark. And then, because we don't want it to cut, we're going to use our, which it's so staticky, it catches all the lint and everything. We're going to use, and I'm going to pull this out, we're going to use our silicone mat. And then we're going to put this over here. And then I think it was a number 3. Let's find out. I can't remember. I wrote it down somewhere. Where was it? I think it was either 3 or 4. It's a 3. So we're going to go through. And you don't want to go too fast, remember, because going too fast, then it's not going to stick. And they say don't go backwards, but this is a different die, remember? So I'm going to go ahead and go backwards. We'll see if I mess it up. I have one that's not messed up. All right. All right. So the hot foil platform, die cut side up, shiny side of the foil, then your paper, then the impressions plate. All right, the impressions plate. We're going to bring this back over here. All right, I'm going to move this out of the way. We're going to pick this up. We're going to take this and we're going to put it over here on our silicone mat. I love this. And then here is our spider web. So it's embossed a little bit, but that's okay. Then we're going to peel and reveal. Come on. Why is it? Here we go. Here we go. Now I'm going to keep this because we're getting that other plate. So I'm going to be playing with that. But look at that. Oh, I got more silver on it this time. Maybe I did, maybe double and maybe running it through there twice was not a great plan. Look at that. I got a lot of silver on there this time. All right, so I'll show you the card that I made earlier instead, because I think running it through twice may have done that. And this one, it didn't do it. Okay, there's a little bit on the outskirts, but I kind of like that little distressed look. So here it is. I stamped the spider with Versamark on the dark basic gray, and then used black embossing powder, heat embossing powder, and then I used the Timid Tiger for the Happy Halloween. And then I popped it up on with dimensionals, with black dimensionals. Isn't that cool? So you can use your dies, your regular cutting dies. You just have to use the impressions plate. Look how filthy that gets. I got to figure out how to de-staticify that. Maybe if I run the powder over it or something. All right, so there we go. So this is also two-tone cardstock, and this is regular cardstock. So I actually really like how it came out on the regular cardstock. But again, I ran this through twice. I did it out and back. So there's a chance that the reason I got all this other on there is because I did that. All right. So, but to me, it's still usable. I'll still be making a card with that. I just got a little bit more silver on it. All right. But I really like how this one turned out. And I really like how this is a darker black than this one. And when it comes to the Halloween, I like black. So I think this turned out best. All right, so let's reiterate what you've learned tonight. 1, when you buy the Hot Foil System, you get the Metallic Magic class for free. It is a Facebook class. When you purchase it, they will send you the link to the Facebook group. You will have to sign in or join the Facebook group. You will have to have your order number for your Hot Foil System and your name and your email address that you used for ordering it. And then you can do the whole class. All right. The hot foiling system is designed to go with the large Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine. Okay, that's what it was designed for with Stampin' Up! And Spellbinders. It is designed to go through this machine. It is wider and thicker than what would go through a regular Big Shot. Now, there's lots of different Big Shots. I don't know if it goes through other ones because I don't own one. All right, so then we have this. Let me move this out of the way. So then we have using it as just embossing. So say you don't want the embossing machine, but you like this stamp set and these dies. So you can get them as a bundle, 10% off when you order them together as a bundle. And then you can use them for embossing. All right. So there's that. And just another card using the same techniques as last time. The embossing using the Swiss dots on our specialty product of the month paper. So for today's voting, I only have 2 of you to vote, 2 that you could vote for, or you could vote for this technique. So there's this technique with the Happy Halloween using the spiderweb cutting die with the impressions plate, or just the regular Swiss dots on the specialty paper, or using the die as a embossing for embossing with the impressions plate. You do need to, for both of these, you do need to have the impressions plate. All right, so vote, we'll do it in order. 1, 2, or 3. Which one do you like better? Which technique, we'll call it a technique, do you like better? 1, 2, or 3. All right. So I trust that you are considering, is this something that you want to invest in? And like I said last week, if you want to invest in it, you're like, man, I want to go all in. One way you can get a discount, 20% off, is to join my team. So right now, if you join, it's $99. You get $125 of product of your choice, which that $125 can go towards this system. Now, they've changed things, though. It used to be that you could only do $125, period, the end. You couldn't go past that 125. And so you tried to get as close to 125 as you possibly could. Now they've changed it. So here's what's going to happen. When you sign up, you pay your $99. You put all your information in so they know who you are and that you're part of the Stampin' Up! Family. They're going to send you a coupon code for the $125. Then you'll go into your back office portal, whatever you want to call it, where demonstrators go, and you will place your order. Your first $125 you use your coupon code for. Anything over $125, you start earning your discount. You get your discount for it, your 20% off, and you start earning 10% in Stampin' rewards. What's not to love? The way they've changed it is mind-blowing. I have had so many people struggle to they've left dollars on the table because they couldn't figure out how to get to $125. I've had people who made it to $125, but they didn't necessarily get everything they wanted. Now, Stampin' Up! Has totally simplified that. You pay your $99, you sign up, you give them all the information that they need to get you in as a demonstrator and be part of the Stampin' Up! Family. And then they're going to send you that coupon with worth $125. You spend that, put that in. Anything over $125, you get your 20% off on. You get your 20% discount on. And once it hits $20 over, you get your Stampin' rewards. That's 10%. Yeah, that's a pretty good deal. What do you think? Is your mind blown? They simplified it. They made it so much easier to become part of the Stampin' Up! Family without the headache. I can't tell you how many people I had who said, never mind, it's too complicated. I'm not joining. They've simplified it. So go for it. If you have questions, please reach out to me. You can either message me, you can call me or text me on my cell phone number, which is on my business page, or you can message down below and say questions about joining or just questions, and I'll reach out to you and ask you what they are. So this is an investment, but you can get it with a 20% discount. All right. And you can get out of your $99, you can get $125 worth of coupon code to go towards this investment. All right. So if you have questions, please reach out and ask me. I will be back next week with some more because I'm getting that new plate that allows you to, so I don't have to show you what I did to get this brick wall done, because now they came out with a plate, so you don't have to use your Swiss dot one to do it. So I'll be back next week with some more. We'll do one more week of the hot foiling system because I have a couple ideas I want to try out and see how it works. But the dies and the stamps can be used elsewhere, as you saw today. You don't have to have the hot foiling system to enjoy the dies and the stamps, just so you know. And then there are just other ways that you can use the system besides using the dies designed strictly for it. So, got questions? Just ask. I'm happy to answer. If you are on YouTube, please make sure to hit the thumbs up. That helps me out and I greatly appreciate it. Make sure you hit the subscribe button too so you know when I'm going live. And if you hit the little bell, it'll let you know as well. If you are on Facebook, a thumbs up or a howdy, some sort of comment would be gratefully helpful. Ooh, that might have come out wrong. I would be grateful for that kind of comment, I lost the word. I would be grateful for that kind of interaction. It helps get my videos out to others to help inspire them. So I appreciate that. And of course, you can follow me on Facebook as well, and then you get notified when I go live. So however you watch, I would love to have you as part of the Junebug Creations crafty community. So it is Thursday night. It is time for me to go eat my dinner. Take care, enjoy, and I will see you back here tomorrow afternoon at 3:33 Mountain Time for Paper Pumpkin Playdate. I've got 2 more alternates for you. See you then. Bye-bye.